And it would be. Brandon is with Gun Rights Across America. If we lose the second, we lose the rest. Don't ever give up your weapons or your ammo, because that's when the real tyranny will come home to everybody's house. We've got to keep our guns. We've got to keep our rights. Brandon, come on up.
Okay, first off, I gotta ask, who built this thing? You know, I'm only 5'5" here, so this is not gonna work out too well for me.
Guy behind you.
All right, well, what I was gonna bring up today especially, I'm sure everybody has heard about the ATF trying to sneak ban the M855, what they call an armor-piercing round. I'm sorry, fellas, but that makes no sense to me at all, simply because I did my own research. I got onto the FBI statistics. I went from state to state. I did hours and hours of research, and I couldn't find a single incident where a police officer was ever injured or killed with them rounds. The ATF director, Todd Jones, has stepped down. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, only time will tell. All I know is I believe that he stepped down because he could not do Obama's bidding, and that's because of people like us, because of people like you that wrote the letters, that made the calls and said, no, we're not giving up anything. You know, that they don't seem to understand, you know, the will of the people. They think they can come in, push us around, and do whatever they feel like, and we're just not going to stand for that. Apologies, my cards got blown around a minute ago. The Democrats have actually introduced a new bill, actually in the House, to do just that, to once again try and ban that ammunition, once again under false pretenses. I ask everybody here, if you get a chance, send letters, call, make the phone calls, stand up and shout. I don't care what you do. I know a lot of people are nervous about it. They don't want to get involved. I hear it all the time on Facebook and other social media. They contact me and say, listen, we're scared. We want to get out and we want to do something. We don't know how. And I just keep repeating myself constantly, don't be scared. They should be scared of you. We are not to be scared of them. They work for us. We put them in office.
We can take them out.
Yes, we can. We will take them out. And by the way, I love crowd participation, so if anybody has any questions while I'm up here. But that's one thing I drive home to them. You know, one guy said he won't even put his NRA sticker on his car for fear of somebody actually saying something to him. Well, if you look down the road there's a very tiny little red car that right on the back glass says Gun Rights Across America in giant bold letters. That's my car. Every one of my vehicles says so. Do not be afraid to let these people know. Do not be afraid of them at all. The only good thing that seems to have happened to us as of lately, though, is, I mean, I understand we do have conceal and carry. We still need to work on that. How many people here have walked around and looked and seen how many buildings have got the anti-gun sign on it? How many businesses? They're everywhere. The only one that seems to be standing up for us is a giant corporation named Kroger. They flat out told Moms Against America, hey, sorry about your luck. We're not going to take away their Second Amendment rights. And I know personally, in my group alone, we wrote Kroger and everything else like that, and actually I personally got a not just a letter back, but I actually got a call, and they flat out said, hey, we're with you guys, okay? So there are companies out there. We got to push these ones that are putting these anti-gun signs up there, because you know, like they said at iGold, gun-free zones are killing zones. How many mass shootings have we had where a bunch of us are carrying our guns? How many times has it happened at a I don't know, gun range, anywhere else where citizens actually have guns? I haven't heard any of you. Only the criminals have guns. Look at Chicago. I'll tell you what. When I took on state coordinator for gun rights across America, I never would have expected what I was getting into. Especially when I got to make the 5-hour drive to deal with Chicago. It's an ongoing fight. Down here, it's not so bad. We got our fights. Chicago, every single step of the way. It doesn't matter what it is. Look when they said, "Hey, Chicago, you can't do this anymore." What they do? They then therefore banned any gun ranges in the city of Chicago. You have to go out and qualify. What's up, man?
The whole city's a gun range.
The whole city is a gun range for the criminals. I can agree with that. And they constantly bring up these straw purchases, how we're selling guns out of our cars, and the fact that when we got concealed carry, it was going to be the Wild West. I mean, there's going to be blood on the streets and everything. I know when I carry mine around, that's the furthest thing from my mind. I don't want to have to do it. Do you? Do you want to have to shoot it? Do you want to have to shoot another fellow American? No. But the case in point, the Cook County Sheriff, he came out and said, "Well, it's going to be the Wild West. There's going to be blood on the streets. Every time there's a traffic stop, we're going to have somebody shot."
It needs to be fired.
Believe me, I've been pushing that hard. I've already been in his office and subsequently removed from that office. So apparently they're getting the hint. When we got rid of Governor Quinn, I'll tell you what. Like I said, I'm a short guy, but I was jumping up and down. I was dancing a friggin' jig. I was the happiest man on the planet. His own staffers, after I made a video, does anybody remember the ad that he put on the news about how an AR-15 can shoot 350 rounds inside of 30 seconds?
Really?
I'll tell you what, I've done 3-gun and I can't get my finger to fire that fast. I sure can't load that quickly. So I did a 5-minute response to that video. I never expected it to go anywhere. I never expected it to do anything. I figured a couple hundred of my good friends, such as yourselves, were going to see this video. In 3 days, I got 16,000 hits. 2 days after that, Governor Quinn's staffers called me and tried to set up an interview, and I told them no chance. There was a reason why I told them no, because I knew what they were going to try and do. They were going to try and drag us up there, and they were going to do anything they can to disparage us. And at that point, our message was clear. Our message was through. We didn't need to push any harder. So there's so much I can say. Really, I want to keep going, but I'm gonna cut it off here. I want to thank everybody for coming out, especially Oath Keepers and everybody that's here. 2 million bikers. I love you guys. I couldn't make the run. Apparently, if you have an engine in 6 pieces, you can't make it anywhere. I could have Flintstoned it, but my legs aren't that strong. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. God bless you. Take care.